Hello everyone, am I audible? Am I audible? Please let me know. Okay. So, on behalf of Intelletics Institute, I welcome you all, especially the ICSE 10th standard students. We are starting up with the MCQs on photosynthesis chapter from biology. So, let's begin with question number one. The production of starch and not glucose is often used as a measure of photosynthesis in the leaves because A. Sugar cannot be used. B. Starch is immediate product of photosynthesis. C. Glucose formed in photosynthesis soon gets converted into starch. D. Starch is soluble in water. So what should be the answer for this? The production of starch and not glucose is often used as a measure of photosynthesis in the leaves. What should be the answer for this question? Quite a very challenging question, I can say. So, students, I want you all to answer this question. Try it out. So, what should be the answer for this question? Well, the answer is C. The production of starch and not glucose is often used as a measure of photosynthesis in the leaves because glucose formed in the photosynthesis soon gets converted into starch. Okay, welcome King Rai. Question number two. The number of water molecules required in the chemical reactions to produce one molecule of glucose during photosynthesis is dash. A. 6, B. 12, C. 18, D. 24. So the number of water molecules required in the chemical reactions to produce one molecule of glucose during photosynthesis is dash. Well, King Rai, this subject is biology. Okay, and the topic that we are dealing with here is photosynthesis, a very, very important topic, not only just for 10th standard, but also for 11th, 12th science, and the NEET aspirants. Okay, now the answer for this question is B. 12 water molecules will be required in the chemical reactions to produce one molecule of glucose during photosynthesis. Question number 3. The rate of photosynthesis is not affected by dash. A. Humidity. B. Light intensity. C. Temperature. D. Carbon dioxide concentration. So the rate of photosynthesis is not affected by. What should be the answer? Thank you so much, King Rai, for your so warm wishes and words. Okay, so the rate of photosynthesis is not affected by humidity. I would just request you, King Rai, if at all you're new to the channel, please subscribe and ask your friends also to subscribe and share a word about it so that we can reach maximum students. Thank you so much. Question number 4. Chlorophyll in a leaf is required for dash. A. Emitting green light. B. Breaking down water into hydrogen and oxygen. C. Trapping light energy. D. Storing starch in the leaves. Tell me, why is chlorophyll in the leaf required? And you see all the greenery around, the lush green color. So this color you know in the leaves is because of the chlorophyll pigment. So why is this chlorophyll required in the leaf? No, answer. Come on, answer. Well, the answer of this question is C, trapping light energy. Okay, so chlorophyll is essential for trapping light energy. You know, the leaves contain many photosynthetic pigments, the most important being chlorophyll. And each pigment has its own capacity to absorb a particular wavelength of light energy. Coming to the next question, number 5. If the rate of respiration becomes more than the rate of photosynthesis, plants will dash. A. Be killed instantly. B. Grow more vigorously because more energy will be available. C. Stop growing and die gradually of starvation. D. Continue to live but will not be able to store food. So what would happen if the rate of respiration becomes more than the rate of photosynthesis? सोचिएगा an answer. If the rate of respiration becomes more than the rate of photosynthesis. Well, the correct answer for this question is D. If the rate of respiration becomes more than the rate of photosynthesis, the plants will continue to live but will not be able to store food. Question number 6. Which one chemical reaction occurs during photosynthesis? A. Carbon dioxide is reduced and water is oxidized. B. Water is reduced and carbon dioxide is oxidized. C. Both carbon dioxide and water are reduced. D. Both carbon dioxide and water are oxidized. In the B option, and carbon dioxide is oxidized has to be there. So what happens? Which is the chemical reaction that occurs during photosynthesis? The correct answer is A. Carbon dioxide is reduced and water is oxidized, and this happens simultaneously because it's a redox reaction. Once you might have heard about redox reaction, right? A reaction in which reduction and oxidation take place simultaneously is called as a redox reaction. Now, coming to the next question, number 7. The specific function of light energy in the process of photosynthesis is to dash. A. Reduce carbon dioxide. B. Synthesize glucose. C. Activate chlorophyll. D. Split water molecule. Which is the specific function of light energy in the process of photosynthesis? Well, the answer for this question is C. Activates chlorophyll. Friends, remember carbon dioxide is reduced during the dark reaction. That is, it is independent of light. Okay, so glucose is synthesized by reduction of carbon dioxide in the dark reaction of photosynthesis. And the question asks you what is the function of the light energy. Coming to the next question, number 8. A plant is kept in a dark cupboard for 48 hours before conducting any experiment on photosynthesis in order to dash. A. Remove chlorophyll from the leaves. B. Remove starch from the leaves. C. Ensure that no photosynthesis occurs and not photosynthesis occurred. D. Ensure that the leaves are free of starch. So why is a plant kept in dark cupboard for 48 hours before conducting any experiment on photosynthesis? Answer. You might have read about this. Well, the answer for this question is D. This is to ensure that the leaves are free of starch. So a plant is kept in a dark cupboard for 48 hours before conducting any experiment on photosynthesis in order to ensure that the leaves are free of starch. Question number 9. During photosynthesis, the oxygen in glucose comes from dash. Oxygen in glucose. Friends, please listen. Oxygen in glucose comes from dash. A. Carbon dioxide. B. Water. C. Both carbon dioxide and water. D. Oxygen via air. So what should be the answer for this? The oxygen in glucose comes from dash. Well, the answer for this question is A. Carbon dioxide. Please remember, glucose is formed by the reduction of carbon dioxide. So the oxygen that is going to be seen in glucose is obtained from carbon dioxide. Okay. Coming to the next question, number 10. The organisms that prepare their own food from basic raw materials are dash. A. Heterotrophs. B. Producers. C. Autotrophs. D. Both B and C. So what should be the answer for this? The organisms that prepare their own food. It's quite an easy question. Basic question. The correct answer is D. That is both B and C. Coming to the next question, number 11. The plastids found in the mesophyll cells of the leaves are dash. A. Golgi complex. B. Chloroplasts. C. Leucoplasts. D. Fibroblasts. answer B. The plastids found in the mesophyll cells of the leaves are dash. Correct answer is B, that is chloroplasts. Please remember chloroplasts are, that's why also called as green plastids. Coming to the next question, number 12. The compound which stores energy in the cells is dash. A. ATP, B. Mitochondria, C. Both A and B, D. Glucose. So which is the compound that stores energy in the cells? Correct answer for question number 12 will be A. ATP. So ATP stores energy in the cells. It's a biological utilizable form of energy, the full form being adenosine triphosphate. Coming to the next question, number 13. The first form of food substance produced during photosynthesis is dash. A. Sucrose, B. Starch, C. Glucose, D. Either A or B or C. Quite an easier question. First form. Stress on this word, first form. So answer is C, that is glucose. So glucose is the first form of food substance that is produced during photosynthesis. Later on, the plants do convert it into starch, and the excess of the carbohydrates in the plants are stored in the form of starch. Like we know, in case of animals, it is stored in the form of glycogen. Coming to the next question, number 14. For the aquatic plants, the source of carbon dioxide is dash. A. Atmospheric carbon dioxide. B. Carbon dioxide dissolved in the water. C. Carbon dioxide present in the shells and body coverings. D. All of the above. So, for the aquatic plants, the source of carbon dioxide is dash. Come on, students, answer. Well, the correct answer for this question is B. For the aquatic plants, the source of carbon dioxide is carbon dioxide dissolved in the water. Coming to the next question, number 15. The dark reaction of photosynthesis takes place in the dash region of the chloroplast. A. Grana, B. Stroma, C. Thylakoids, D. Contaso. So the answer for question number 15 is B. Stroma. Stroma is the site of dark reaction in case of photosynthesis, whereas grana is the site of light reaction. Keep this in mind. Coming to the next question, number 16. The first pair indicates the relationship between the two terms. Complete the second pair accordingly. Chlorophyll, magnesium, hemoglobin, dash. And your options are A. Carbon dioxide, B. Oxygen, C. Sulfur, D. Chlorine. So what should be the answer for question number 16? The answer is B, oxygen. Chlorophyll, magnesium, hemoglobin, oxygen. See friends, for formation of the chlorophyll, magnesium plays a very, very important role. It is a structural component of chlorophyll, and hemoglobin basically helps in binding with oxygen. It also binds with carbon dioxide, and it also can bind with carbon monoxide. In fact, it has more affinity for carbon monoxide, but its prime function is it acts as an oxygen carrier. So the correct option here is oxygen. Question number 17. Which of the following statements are not true? A. Photosynthesis requires enzymes. B. Photosynthesis results in loss of dry weight of the plants. C. Dark reaction of photosynthesis occurs during night time. D. Both B and C. So what should be the answer for question number 17? The perfect answer for question number 17 is D. Both B and C. Because photosynthesis does not result in the loss of dry weight of the plants, and also dark reaction doesn't take place in the night time. In fact, both light and dark reactions occur during the daytime itself, but the dark reactions do not utilize light energy. That is, they are independent of light energy. And here you can remember, it's not photosynthesis, but it is respiration that can result in the loss of dry weight of the plants. Now coming to the next also, dark reaction of photosynthesis is independent of light and occurs simultaneously with the light reaction, just as I've told you. Now coming to the next question number 18. The chemical substance used to detect the presence of starch in a cell of a leaf is dash. A. Calcium chloride. B. Iodine solution. C. Benedict solution. D. Calcium phosphate. So which is the chemical substance used to detect the presence of starch in the cell of a leaf? The answer for this question is B. It's iodine solution. So iodine solution is used to detect the presence of starch in the cell of a leaf. Question number 19. Stroma is the ground substance in dash. A. Cytoplasm. B. Mitochondria. C. Chloroplast. D. Ribosome. The perfect answer for this question is C. Stroma is the ground substance in the chloroplast. Coming to the next question number 20. The dark reaction of photosynthesis is known as dash. A. Hill's reaction. B. Cyclic photophosphorylation. C. Calvin cycle. D. Non-cyclic phosphorylation. What is the dark reaction of photosynthesis, also known as? Rather, which is the reaction which is a part of dark reaction? Perfect answer. So this question is C. Calvin cycle. So Calvin cycle is one of the dark reactions of photosynthesis. The others being C4, that is HSK pathway, and crassulacean acid metabolism, which is also called as CAM pathway. So dark reaction is basically C3, that is Calvin-Benson cycle, C4, that is Hertzsprung and Kortschak, that is HSK pathway, and CAM pathway, that is crassulacean acid metabolism. Coming to the next question, number 21. Which of the following statements are not true? A. Grana is the site of light reaction. B. Photosynthesis stops at a temperature of about 35 degrees. C. Dark reaction occurs in the light. D. Both B and C. So what should be the answer to question number 1? The answer is B. Photosynthesis stops at a temperature of about 35 degrees is not a true statement. Please remember it stops at a temperature of about 40 degrees and not 35 degrees. Coming to the next question, number 22. In the flowering plants, food is transported in the form of dash. A. Glucose. B. Sucrose. C. Starch. D. Lignin. Correct answer is sucrose. In the flowering plants, the food is transported in the form of sucrose. Please keep this in mind. Question number 23. In bell jar experiment for photosynthesis, potassium hydroxide is used to dash. A. Absorb oxygen. B. Absorb carbon dioxide. C. Release water. D. Absorb sunlight. What should be the answer for this? Correct answer is B. Okay, in the bell jar experiment for photosynthesis, potassium hydroxide is used to absorb carbon dioxide. Okay, the bell jar experiment proves that carbon dioxide is essential for photosynthesis. Question number 24. Closely packed structures in plastids that are responsible for photosynthesis are dash. A. Thylakoids. B. Guard cells. C. Stomata. D. Mesophyll. What should be the answer for this? Question number 24. The answer is A. Thylakoids. So the closely packed structures in the plastids that are responsible for photosynthesis are thylakoids. Question number 25. Which of the following stages is responsible for the continuous production of the carbon dioxide acceptor molecule RuBP in Calvin pathway? A. Carboxylation. B. Reduction. C. Regeneration. D. Assimilation. So, which of the following stages is responsible for the continuous production of carbon dioxide acceptor molecule RuBP in Calvin pathway, that is C3 cycle? The perfect answer for this question is C. Regeneration. So it is the regeneration step that helps in maintaining the level of RuBP, that is ribulose biphosphate, which is the first carbon dioxide acceptor in the Calvin pathway. Remember, regeneration of the CO2, that is carbon dioxide acceptor molecule, is crucial if the cycle is to continue uninterrupted. Now, coming to the next question, number 26. Why is lumen of the thylakoids filled with protons and hydrogen ions? A. Because of electron transport chain. B. Because of cyclic phosphorylation. C. Because of non-cyclic phosphorylation. D. Because of the splitting of water. So why is the lumen of the thylakoids filled with protons and hydrogen ions? What should be the answer for this? Well, the correct answer for this question is D. Because of the splitting of the water, that is photolysis of water that takes place, the lumen of the thylakoids is filled with protons and hydrogen ions. Since splitting of the water molecule takes place on the inner side of the membrane, the protons or hydrogen ions produced by the splitting of water, that is photolysis of water, accumulate within the lumen of the thylakoids. Coming to the next question, number 27. Which of the following part of ATPase is embedded in the membrane and forms a transmembrane channel? Now, this question might be at the slightly higher level for 10th standard. Okay, but then there's no harm in knowing something in details. And the options are A, F0, B, F1, C, F2, D, F3. And the correct answer for this question is A, F0. This is the F0 particle or the part wherein we find the ATPase enzyme is embedded. The ATPase enzyme consists of two parts, F0 and F1. Please keep this in mind. Friends, I want you all to participate in this session. Okay, keep interacting, keep sending your answers in the chat box. If you have any questions, that also you can send here. Now remember, F0 is embedded in the membrane and forms a transmembrane channel that carries out facilitated diffusion of protons across the membrane. Although students who are preparing for NEET may note this point in your own synopsis. Question number 28. The first pair indicates the relationship between the two terms. Complete the second pair accordingly. Light reaction, granum, dark reaction, dash. Now this is quite a simple question and the options are A, thylakoids, B, lamellae, C, stroma, D, contosaur. So what should be the answer for question number 28? The correct answer is C, stroma. The dark reaction occurs in the stroma, whereas the light reaction occurs in the gram. Coming to the next question number 29. Which of the following also helps along with electron in the reduction of NADP plus to NADPH plus H plus? A. Chlorophyll. B. Water. C. Protons. D. Cytochrome. And the perfect answer for this question is C. Protons. See, protons are obtained by photolysis of water, and these protons are taken up by NADP plus, which thereby gets reduced to NADPH plus H plus. Along with electrons that come from the acceptor of electrons of photosystem 1, protons are necessary for the reduction of NADP plus to NADPH plus plus H plus. Now coming to the last question for this session, which is an assertion and reasoning type of a question. Assertion. Iodine is used to test starch synthesized by photosynthesis in the leaves. Reason. Iodine turns blue-black on reacting with starch. And your options are A. Both assertion and reason are true statements, and the reason is the correct explanation of the assertion. B. Both assertion and reason are true statements, but the reason is not the correct explanation of the assertion. C. Assertion is true, but the reason is false. D. Both assertion and reason are false statements. The correct answer for this question is A. Iodine is used to test the starch synthesized by photosynthesis in the leaves because it acts as a kind of an indicator. It turns blue-black on reacting with starch. Hence, both assertion and reason are the true statements, and the reason is the correct explanation of the assertion. So, friends, here I stop with this session, the first lecture on MCQs on photosynthesis. There are many more for your practice. Please keep sharing and be with us. Happy learning. Please, if you are new to the channel, do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you get to know about our upcoming videos. Thank you so much.